Okay, so let's do a problem that sort of deals with functions that sort of similar to some of the homework. Okay, so let's say you have a phone and you pay $40 a month, or I don't want to say you pay $40 a month. The phone fee is $40 a month. On top of that, you have to pay 10 cents a minute, okay, for every minute you talk. All right, so let's see what that's going to look like as a graph. Now, usually on a graph, an XY Cartesian plane graph, if time is one of the variables, time is the independent, or X. Whatever else, the other variable, which in this case is cost, is the Y, or dependent. That's because it's the cost that depends on how much time you talk. It's not the other way around. Talking on the phone more makes the cost go up. The cost depends on how much time you talk. So our time is going to be down here, and our cost is going to be up here. So this is cost, this is time. So let's go in increments of $20, I guess. We can start with that. Okay, so if you don't talk at all, in other words, okay, so this is time. Let's do, how about 100 minutes increments. Okay, so if you don't talk at all, that means the time is 0. Well, if you don't talk at all, the phone still costs $40. Okay? If you talk for 200 minutes, okay, each minute's 10 cents, so 200 minutes is $20. So it goes up to $60 for the phone. Okay, that's about 400 minutes. If you talk for 400 minutes, that's an extra $40, so it'll go up to 80. So we can graph this, and that's what our graph looks like, okay? Now, if I want to figure out how much will it cost me to talk for 980 minutes, just picking a strange number, I want to write a formula for that. Well, remember, this is a linear function. You can see by the graph that it's a linear function. So y is going to equal, why is it a function, by the way? Well, look at every x value is matched with exactly one y value. So it is a function. Time is the x. So we don't know what our time is. You don't know beforehand. It's something that we're going to plug in, and I'm going to talk about evaluating functions too. Alright, well, whatever this time is, we wind up multiplying it by 10 cents, because every minute, so time is x in minutes. That's the unit. So we have to multiply the time by 0.10. Then we have to add something to it. Well, we know if we don't talk at all, which would be 0 minutes, it still costs $40. So for this to equal 40, when that's 0, this would have to be 40 out here. So that's our function. Sometimes you write, when you know it's a function, instead of writing y equals, you write f of x equals. Okay. Sometimes what you could also do is just change this to like what it's representing. It's a cost, or you could even write capital C of X. There's different ways to write these functions. Okay, so if I want to know how much the phone bill will be if I talk for 980 minutes, I plug in, I'm going to just go back to it being f of x. Well, now I'm going to go back to it just being y. I want to talk about evaluating things separately. Will cost $138 if I talk for 980 minutes. That's why there's unlimited plans now, because there's probably people who talk on their phone over 980 minutes a day. So every month their phone bill would be about, let's see, if they talk over 980 minutes a day, that could be like 1,000 minutes a day. So they might talk 30,000 minutes, which multiplied by 10 cents would be 3,000. So you'd add that to 40. So their phone bill would be over $3,000 a month. It would be $3,040 a month. Yeah, I'm pretty sure there are people who do that, which is kind of scary. All right, so let's talk about evaluating functions, which is basically what I just did, but I want to actually show it another way. So sometimes you're given a function like, I'll write the function that we just had. Like I said, sometimes they write it different ways. You could write it like this. Well, let's write it like how I wrote it up above. To evaluate a function just means you plug in, you are given an x value. So in our last example, x was 980. So if x was 980, I go like this. Wherever I see x, I put 980. So f of 980 is 138. So that's how you evaluate a function. You just plug in what you're given and then do the math. Okay? So that should be a good help for your homework. And obviously if you have any questions, email me or come to my office hours.